The number 17 ranked Miami Hurricanes are taking on the number 18 ranked Louisville Cardinals this Saturday, September 19th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, prime time at Cardinal Stadium. Game of the week and college game days in town.
Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, the Coach Coop Show. Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, Coach, Coop, the Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show.
What's going on, Canes fans? And I haven't forgotten about the Louisville fans that are stopping in, viewing, and commenting on this video as well. I appreciate you guys also. I hope that the explosions really reinforced how big this game is. I hope that it got the point across. But before we dive into the preview video, I do have 3 brief announcements. You know it wouldn't be a Coach Coop video without some announcements before we get into the meat of everything, right? Now this first one I feel like is actually super important. I know that a lot of people like to kind of guess and skip past the announcement section, but please hear me out for just a moment. If my videos and streams are not as enthusiastic as they typically are over the next few weeks, I was in the hospital earlier this week, and it's something that I've been dealing with for months. I've actually been hospitalized 2 or 3 times total just over the last few months. And I'm not looking for attention. I'm not looking for sympathy down in the comment section. The only reason I'm bringing it up is because Coach Coop is the hype man. Right? I typically like my streams, my videos to all be high energy. Now, of course, we had some explosions and crazy stuff at the beginning, but then I had to take a break after that. So if they're not as enthusiastic as high energy over the next couple of weeks, I apologize. I will get back to that craziness as soon as I possibly can. And thank you guys for hanging in there with me. And second, thank you to everyone who has purchased the Coach Coop merch so far. I'm currently rocking the Coach Coop garbage can tee at the moment. The least sold so far on the site, but I went into it expecting that. It's got my face on it, you know. But thank you to everyone who's purchased a shirt so far. If you'd like to check it out, there's some really dope designs over there. You can click the top link in the description and it will take you over to the website. And lastly, yes, the announcements are almost complete. I will have links for the Miami versus Louisville game this Saturday. It's going to be on ABC. I know there's still a lot of people that don't have access to that channel. So just stop in during the live stream on Saturday, the live hangout, and I will hook you up with a link to stream the game for free. It won't cost you a thing. You don't even have to be subscribed. Last week in the UAB game, we hit 890 something viewers during that live hangout. Almost 900. Let's see if we can push that again this week. So let's dive in. This game earned some extra hype this week as both teams have entered the top 25. And man, I gotta tell you, Louisville has a ton of weapons on that offense. That was very apparent if you watched them play Western Kentucky. The Cardinals wide receiver group is stacked. They have so much talent and athleticism on the outside. It's insane. Wide receivers Fitzpatrick and Smith both racked up 110 yards in game number 1, and Tutu Atwell had close to 80 yards. And quarterback Michael Cunningham is a leader at the quarterback position. He's not afraid to throw the ball deep, and he's pretty quick on his feet too. But Louisville's special teams definitely struggled in their first game. In particular, punter Logan Lupo fumbled a snap and had a punt blocked. Now, Miami's first game was on a Thursday night, so they do come into this matchup with a little bit of extra prep time. The Hurricanes show that they can finally establish a run game, which is huge because it provides an opportunity to set up the passing game. And although quarterback De'Aaron King didn't get to throw the ball as much as Miami fans anticipated or maybe wanted him to, he does appear to be the real deal. And penalty-wise, the Canes look much more disciplined than they did in 2019 with only 3 penalties in game number 1. But we did fail to connect on some long passes that would have been huge in that UAB game. Let's not forget that wide open Peyton in the corner of the end zone that just kind of, Coop, let it go. So let's talk some history between these two teams. Miami and Louisville have faced off 14 times in total, with Miami leading the series 10-3. And yes, you did hear that correctly. That's 13 games, 10-3. There apparently was a tie way back in 1950. Now, the most recent matchup took place just last season where Miami won 52-27. So let's transition over to average stats for both of these teams so far for the 2020 season. Now, keep in mind that when I say average stats for the season for both of these teams, they both only have one game under their belt. So these are going to be their stats basically for the last team that they played. But also keep in mind that throughout the season, as these preview videos progress and the team gets more games under their belt, that we'll start to see these kind of change and actually be averages. But what's cool is that I still like to see them side by side because I'm going to put a little graphic image up here on your screen. So let's take a look at it. The Miami Hurricanes' average points per game coming into this matchup is 31, Louisville at 35. Points allowed against them per game, Miami 14, Louisville 21. Average yards gained per game, Miami 495, Louisville 487. And yards allowed against them per game, Miami 285, Louisville 248. On paper, statistically speaking, with those specific stats, look kind of similar. So with the stats out of the way, it's time to discuss 3 keys to a victory for both of these teams. And let's kick it off with Louisville. Number 1, never underestimate the importance of special teams. You can chalk it up to Game 1 jitters, or Louisville fans can insert any excuse here that you would like, but Louisville's special teams play was absolutely horrendous against Western Kentucky. In particular, punting, punt returns, and kick returns. It will have to be better against Miami because the Canes have athletes on the field that can make you pay for mistakes on special teams. A game like this could very well be determined by a field goal or a punt or a returned kick that sets your team up with good field position. Number 2, Louisville's defense will have to find a way to shut down Miami's run game and force Miami to show that they can be effective through the air. The Canes racked up 337 rushing yards against UAB. The last time Miami had rushing yards like that, if I'm not mistaken, was maybe Bethune-Cookman in 2017. Miami fans are excited about Lashley's passing game, but it didn't pose much of a threat against UAB. Now, you can argue that it didn't have to because the run game was so successful against UAB, which is mostly true, but that's also why Louisville would want to force Miami into more passing situations, at least initially, because the passing game has something to prove. And lastly, the battle of the QBs. Michael Cunningham had a big day against Western Kentucky, going 19 of 34 for 343 yards, which was a career high for him, 3 passing touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown. Both of these QBs come into the 2020 season with a lot of hype, and Michael Cunningham needs to bring that same energy that he did in the first game and have a better night than De'Aaron King. Now, moving on to 3 keys to a Miami Hurricanes victory in this game. Number 1, the Hurricanes defense, especially the secondary, will have to have an absolutely phenomenal night. Slow and sluggish play mixed with missed tackles and bad angles could put the Cardinals up big early in this game. The defense wasn't terrible against UAB, but this Louisville offense is going to be much more explosive, so the secondary has to step it up big on Saturday night and definitely limit big-time plays. Number 2, Miami's D-line must get consistent pressure on quarterback Michael Cunningham all night long. And I know we already mentioned part of the defense in point number 1, but I cannot stress this enough. The Canes only had 1 sack against UAB. Roche and Phillips especially need to be in Cunningham's face down after down, making their presence known. And lastly, as we already previously discussed, Miami's run game looks pretty powerful. It's not too bad. I mean, 337 yards in game 1. Now, I credit a lot of that to the running backs. I mean, the O-line didn't look too awful bad. I mean, I would say improved from 2019, absolutely. But I give a lot of that credit to the running backs and their ability to make a play. Now, with all that being said, it's not that Miami has to run more passing plays, because again, our run game seems to be pretty solid. But we've got to find a rhythm with our passing attack. The timing needs to be better because something's just off, it seems, especially on the deep ball. And I don't want us to get away from the deep ball. I loved that in the UAB game, we came out on that first down play, I believe, on the offense's first possession and sent one deep. let's do it again. And now we move on to everyone's favorite part of the video. Let's get into the score prediction. And before I give my own, you know that I like to mention the completely and utterly pointless ESPN matchup predictor win percentage. They have Miami's win percentage chance coming into this game at 23.3% and Louisville at 76.7%. So Miami big time underdogs in this game. Again, remember, coming in ranked number 17 and Louisville coming in ranked number 18. So looks like some home field advantage here for Louisville. But I thought long and hard about this score prediction here, right? It's tough to predict Miami Hurricanes scores. I'm just going to be straight up and honest with you. If you're new to the channel, you've been here for a while, it's really tough. But I've got Miami scoring 41 and the Louisville Cardinals scoring 38. That's right. I've got the Miami Hurricanes escaping. I'm going to be real with you. Obviously, look at the score here. It's a close game. Escaping with a dub. Now, I know what a lot of you were thinking. Coop, the Miami Hurricanes absolutely throttled Louisville in 2019, and that was with Dan Enos' offense. Coop, listen to me. Listen. That was last year. I think this game could be very close. Louisville has weapons all over the field, and they're very explosive. With Miami, I don't think we saw everything that this playbook is capable of in the UAB game, and that was game one. We have guys that are more kind of settled in now. There's been a few slight changes for Miami in the depth chart, and I think that Miami comes out looking a little more ready to play and ready to go and more prepared for this Louisville team. But anyway, leave your score predictions down below in the comment section. Did I get the one right last week? No. Have I ever gotten one right? I'm going to be honest, I don't remember, but I can promise you one thing. If I'm wrong on this score prediction, I most definitely, absolutely will not be eating it. That was still the dumbest thing I have ever done on this channel. So leave your score predictions down below, guys, and let's do a little trash talking. There might be, last week there were no UAB fans. I don't think there was a single UAB fan on my preview video in the live stream. Nowhere to be seen. And we hit 10K views on the preview video, and again, almost 1,000 live viewers in the hangout. Not a UAB fan in sight. Louisville fans, they've been springing up. I've been seeing them pop up all over social media talking that trash. So Miami fans, show up loud and proud in the comment section, and let's talk about this game a little bit. Miami still has a lot to prove this season, and again, this gets into the ACC play, so every game counts, and we've got to take this serious. Louisville is going to be a very tough opponent. But remember though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family, but at the end of the day, I got to say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out.